Hi Chevening Nation, hi my friend, hope you are doing great. It's Jen. I hope you already planned for your extraordinary year and this year you are going to apply for scholarship. If you already applied for the scholarship, you are waiting for the result. Congratulations, and I believe no matter what is the result, you made it. So keep going, never give up. And if you get to the second round, crush into it, and I believe you will make it happen. So thanks to all the Cheveners for sharing in the previous videos, and I hope you already applied for their ideas. And today we have Hamse, and I love the interview with him where I focus on asking him about leadership. And one of the things that I really want to share with you now before you enjoy the interview is about integrity. Integrity. No matter what you do in life, are you a leader? You are a leader of your life. Are you a manager? Are you a student? Are you doing whatever you're doing? But then integrity. Keep it. Integrity. Yeah, my friends, that's correct for me. Keep that one with you for the whole life. Because no matter how successful you are, people may admire you. But if you have that integrity, be yourself, people will love you and believe in you and trust you, and you will feel you trust people more, you believe in people more. So just live with that, even you apply for scholarship or not. Whatever you do, keep that one, my friend, and I believe you're gonna enjoy the video. Thanks again, my friend Hamse. Thanks to you to commit to our journey as a better person, as a future leader, as a future influencer, to make a difference in life. See you in the next videos. And start loving, living, and giving every moment of life integrity. Yes, give it, my friends. Welcome, Hamse. Thank you for joining us for the weekly interview with Cheveners. So we interview Cheveners every week. Chevener is like a scholar who achieved Chevening scholarship, British government scholarship, and study in UK for 1 year full master degree. So Hamza, welcome and thank you for joining us and share with us your journeys in Chevening and in life. Can you introduce a bit?
It's pleasure, Jen. It's pleasure to be joining you today. My name is Hamse Ismail Abdullahi. I come from Somaliland. Somaliland is an politically unrecognized part of Somalia, and I'm studying at the University of Bristol. My course is public policy.
All right. So it's kind of like really interesting because there are not many Cheveners in Bristol, I guess. And one day I just like randomly texted Hamza, and then I found that he also in Bristol because all the other Cheveners who in the other videos, they from the other city, and we found that we are in the same city. So eventually we do audio interviews now, but we actually in the same area, kind of close. So how is life in Bristol, Hamza?
Well, life in Bristol has been great, and the experience has been incredibly fascinating, and the study is also going along very fine.
Right. So what is the most interesting thing, fascinating, right?
The one of the most interesting thing about life in Bristol is the friendliness of the people.
Oh yeah.
And also, like any other person who came to the UK for the first time, coping with the weather is also is also an incredible experience for my in the West. Is amazing.
Okay, love it. So as I interview other tuners, everyone also said the same. Like it was so friendly. That's like it's just great, and we could imagine, but we could not like feel it until we come here. So hope our friends somewhere think about that and gonna have wonderful experience here. So okay, we're gonna get to some question about Chevening. So can you share a bit about your journey before you came to Chevening and to the UK? And what
As,
did make you choose Chevening? And it
yeah,
was like a
as you know, Chevening scholarship is for emerging young world leaders, and in most parts of the world, there are over 140 countries. People from 140 countries came on the Chevening scholarship to the UK this year. So it is the dream of almost every young, ambitious and talented person in my country to get a Chevening postgraduate scholarship to the UK. Is the dream of everybody. Secondly, as you know, the Chevening scholarship is the most prestigious postgraduate British scholarship in the world. The Chevening scholarship has also produced many world leaders who are now at the moment in power. Some of them in government power, in art, in business, and in different parts of in different fields. So the level of prestige associated with the Chevening scholarship is absolutely huge. And when it comes to leadership, youth leadership, I think that has always been a very passionate subject for me. Especially someone who comes from a developing country where leadership is essential for that country to develop. So that any development is going to be led by the youth, who are going to be the next generation of leaders.
oh wow, wonderful. So from your sharing, I just found like you already have some kind of like ideas about going to be the leaders in your country, and then you really want to make contribution in that kind of like leading the countries to a better future. So that is like a motivation for you to reach out to Chevening, right? So what did you do before? Like, is it something to do with leadership or politics or something like that? Because you study like politics now, right?
My undergraduate studies were purely medical.
Oh.
But in a twist of events of live events.
All right. What happened with the live event? That's interesting, yeah.
I joined working with the non-profit sector, the NGO sector, for the last few years, and in that space, I found my gradual interest in public service and leadership, and that's why I also had a summer leadership fellowship in America last year. In America, which also gave me the opportunity to see different things from different lenses. So it was just a gradual transformation from a purely medical person to developing an interest.
All right. That is interesting because everyone said like find your passion or your interest, and everyone like I don't have interest. I believe everyone has some kind of. So what would be the advice for our friends who thinking like how can I identify my interest? Because that is like focal point. When we know that, we just like do whatever it takes, and we kind of like search for the way to make it happen, right? So how can we find it, or how can we identify it? What do you think?
I think while we also have personal plans, so the things we aspire to be, the kind of leadership we aspire to be, or the field, the particular field we're interested. But there are also other life events that could change persons. Like me, as I said previously, I was purely in the medical field. Now I'm totally out of the medical field. So when you go back, you might find something that we might not even anticipate in the first place. So in that sense, unexpected life events could happen to anybody. But for a person to have a vision, a very a very solid vision, a very clear vision of his or her life in the coming years is important. And if someone chooses that he's going to run for parliament, going to or become a senior government official, or run for the top leadership of the country, that's a personal kind of decision. But I hope, and I have no doubt that many Chevening scholars will be the next generation of leaders. And hopefully I can't wait that a day that I will come to a conference room where many presidents and prime ministers were former Chevening scholars.
Okay.
I want to live to see that day.
All right. Okay. I really like the points that you said, like how to define our interest or passion. It's like it can be like life event, as you said, or it can be like kind of experience, or maybe some people like a book, maybe through a book or through like somebody's story. So it's kind of like a point that we have awareness of something, right? We kind of like have become aware of something, and that is the awareness. So there's a lot of way I just share. So you said like it had a clear vision. So what is the link between passion and vision? What do you think? Which one go first, the vision or the passion or the interest? Or
I think both are critically important for any person, but the vision is very important. When you know where you are aiming at, where you are aiming at, is it really makes your job a little easier, rather than having just a passion with no direction. So you can, the importance of vision is that you can focus all your energy on that particular thing. So the vision helps in giving the person a direction. The passion is also equally important because it gives the person the energy. When you are passionate about something, even if you meet hurdles and challenges along the way, you kind of endure. You kind of try to not to dwell on those problems. Just try to go past over them. Just go past them. So that's the importance. So both are critically important. But vision comes first, I suppose.
Okay.
In my opinion.
So can you share your vision in 5 years? Because I think that's also one of the things in Chevening scholarship, and that I think they're really looking for somebody like have a clear vision, as you said, because the person know what they need to do in the future, and that is also one of the part of the thing of a leader. So can you share your vision in 5 years? What would be a big picture? Yeah.
I've got the one obviously one might have a long-term vision, and one also might have a mid-term or shorter-term kind of vision. My long-term vision could be in a leadership. I might not be able to say the particular position that I want to go for, but in a position that I will be able to create opportunities for the young people. Opportunities that the young people can have education, better education, employment, and can trust their own country, and drop the idea that you can only be successful if you leave your country and go elsewhere. So I want to be in a leadership position that I can help the next generation, young people, generation of my country, to get better lives, better services, better employment opportunities. But the exact position that would enable me to do that, I'm not yet quite sure.
Yeah, totally. Because that is the vision, and that is important. I think, like as you said, like we need to know what we want, the outcomes, and then we find a way to do it. Because that is the important thing. It's not like we we're doing what we're doing now and then try to get something in the future. We need to look back from the outcome we want, and then from there we identify what we need to do, right? So that's great. That really make me think about what do I think about a good leader. Yeah, because as you said, you're going to make contribution to the country and empowering young people and help them to empower themselves and make a difference. So what do you think? What is make a great leader?
I think I think with the definition of a leader, divided despite the vast array of definitions for a good leader. While people have many ideas about, of course, different definitions for a good leader, but for me, any leader who has the welfare of his people at heart, the well-being of his people at heart, who puts the welfare of his people first, and shows an outstanding character. I think those are the two qualities I admire the most. The leader should have a character that attracts other people, and also he should have the best interest of his people first, rather than personal interest. So that is what despite the various the large amount of literature of defining leadership, the characters, the traits of a good leader. It's a very vast area, but those are the two things: character and putting people's interests first rather than personal interests. Those are the two characters I would like to see myself and to see other Chevening leaders around the world.
Right. Wow, it's very interesting. As you said, like you mentioned, on the characters need to be really authentic. So he need to be himself, and he kind of like make people attract people, and also. He loves people, and because a leader is all about working with people. It's like interpersonal skill, right? Oh yeah. Do you think that authentic? Because I just talk about like last time about how you make like the leader, if he go to a meeting or he appear in front of other people, and how does it look like? Is his outfit is important? Is he need to be in the suit, or he just can be in any form? Let's say a really important meeting, if a leader show up. So do you think the appearance, how does he wear, how does he dress, is important or not?
I think the dressing of the event depends on the level, the nature of the event. Mm-hmm. Is it like a reception event? An international conference event? If it's a very formal event, I think the person needs to dress formally. But if it's just a normal gathering or other kind of events or other weekend event, someone might dress casually. So the dressing depends on the kind of event the person is going to attend. But the level of the kind of presence the leader makes in that, even if it's a 1 hour meeting, the kind of the quality of the presence of the leader is important. The kind of communication he makes with the people in that particular meeting is important. The kind of the nature of the listening is also important. That when you go to a person and you meet different people, you also need to get time to listen to other people, try to understand them first. Yes. Okay.
So because I think about some cases people don't get used to wearing that kind of thing. Like think about Steve Jobs, he never actually wears suit. And then he's a kind of like leader style, and that's what I ask about this question. So one question about what do you think the most different between leaders and a manager, or leader and a manager? Because people somehow mix that idea. So what do you think? A leader and a manager.
I think the word leader sounds much broader than a manager. A manager is kind of a formal position that person holds maybe he was appointed, or maybe he got like he won the interview for that particular job. It's kind of a position that comes with certain tasks that you're going to manage a particular kind of people, whether it's a company, a non-profit, something like that. The for a manager, the daily tasks are there. They're known, and then they're known. The tasks are there. But when it comes to a leader, it goes beyond the job, beyond the tasks of the job. Is an issue, and the leader, the word leader, might even if person is a leader of a country, of course he's managing the country, but the word manager, for that person to be called a manager, is too small. It's too small a word for a leader. So I think a leader has a much broader kind of thing. Like when you say he's manager and he's a leader, and then the leader, people, when the people hear the word leader, they kind of associate it with certain kind of security. So when you are with a leader, you naturally feel kind of secure in the presence of that leader. That's what I
very interesting. And you said it's like the leaders. Let's say like nobody call like a president like a manager, right? Because leader is somebody that take responsibility in a whole and lead the whole organization to the vision that they want to have to reach. And it's more like it's somebody that always need to have an answer for everything. Everyone look at him and think about somehow they feel the security because that person leads them. Very interesting. Yeah? So how did you convince the Chevening that you have very good leadership skill or potential leadership skill? And what would be your advice for our friends who apply? How can they make that convincing?
I think let me first state that there were so many applicants for in my country who applied for Chevening who were not successful. That does not mean that I am more talented than them. They were equally talented.
Wow, maybe you don't know.
Some of them were even more talented than I am.
Did you like the test?
Yeah. So because I know some of them.
Right. Okay.
I know some of them, and
that's not about talented. That is about
yeah. So it is most people who apply for Chevening are already people who have some sort of talent in their respective fields. Right. But being happening to be a chosen one for the scholarship, I'm something that I'm deeply grateful and that I'm really have with enormous appreciation for the UK government to give me the opportunity to come to the UK, study here at Bristol University, at one of a leading world university, that is something. But the particular things they chose me to for me here, I am not yet sure, to be honest. I'm not yet sure. For other people who aspire to apply for Chevening and come to the UK in the coming years, my advice to them is keep applying. Even if you don't get for that particular year, keep applying for it. That's one thing, and you can make it. Of course, Chevening scholarship is a very the application process and the taking an English test, getting an offer from a university. The Chevening application process is a very rigorous process, a very stressful process. But my advice to them is just you can make it, and just keep applying. Even if you are not successful with that particular year, don't give up. It's worthwhile.
Okay, so you just share really interesting point that it's not about talented people. Okay, anyone can apply as long as you just apply. Yeah? It's not about you think you're not good enough, because it's not about that. So it's more about like the person who have desire of doing something. So what do you think? What would be more important and way more important than a talented person? Yeah. So what would be the most important key? Then our friend can be more motivated to start applying.
Yes, I think the applying for Chevening scholarship is worth for several reasons. First, coming to the UK and studying at a UK university is something important. Of course, the United Kingdom is not like any other country. The United Kingdom is the birthplace of the English language. Is the birthplace of the English language.
English was like a fire between British and American. Where the English was born.
It's the English language.
Yeah.
And coming to an English-speaking country and studying in an English-speaking country is a way lot better than studying in a country where English is not the first language
and
or medium of instruction of the study. So being in England is still very important. Secondly, the UK universities are, I believe, one of the best universities in the world. That's also another issue. The other thing is the opportunity to meet other Chevening scholars who are equally ambitious, equally talented.
Right.
And as people generally, we all, while we come from different places, different backgrounds, we have the same aspirations. We need to be successful. We need to live in a life free of harm, pain, and stress. And the general kind of aspiration is our dreams are almost the same. We aspire to live in a better, get in a better life, lead a better life, and have a positive impact on your community. These are the things we commonly share. So meeting each other Chevening scholars is very important. The Chevening events, which I'm still yet to attend, unfortunately.
You could not. It was not there.
Yeah, I'm also very important, I'm told. And the other thing is the experience broadens your thinking and your kind of things you might need to do next. So it kind of opens up the doors for other things to come, for better things to come. We always need for us to be up and running every time. We need to have the hope that something good is gonna come next. That something better follows next.
Right.
So it also gives us another opportunity, better thinking to go even past the postgraduate course. What are we going to do next?
Right. Okay.
Opportunities coming with it are also limitless, I hope.
Yeah, that's totally true. Like, I think that as you said, like, let's apply and just overcome our limiting belief. If we think about we're not enough for this scholarship, as long as we want to do something and think that the scholarship can help us to make it happen, and then we can contribute to somebody. And as Hassan just shared with that, like, we think about all the opportunities that probably gonna have when we come here, and the people, the network, and the education in English, like native speaking, real English, real native speaking country. That's what I thought. Okay, so it's great. I would like you to share one advice for our friend when they write like the motivation letter. A lot of people are asking about that, and what would be the advice for that? What would make them stand out? What do you think?
I think one thing that I've came to realize over the past few years is that success in life might also be in the form of a series of near wins. Near wins, I mean, you apply for something, you kind of come close to winning it. You apply for something, you kind of come close to winning it. It is those kind of a series of near wins that you're almost close to get to win something. It it is those things that will culminate into one day a very big, huge kind of win.
Okay.
So when you apply for something, whether it's a job, and a scholarship, a fund for particular reason, and you are not successful,
right,
keep applying for it. One day you will get it, and that particular day might even you might get bigger than you thought. It might come in a bigger way than you ever imagined. So so I could sum it up: tenacity, tenacity, and kind of to keep fighting for that particular cause thing you are running after. Right. So it is that particular trait or kind of character that I would advise any other person to do the same. If you are after something and you're not successful for the first, second, third time, keep pushing for it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, wow, that is like really high momentum. You just say that keep doing, like never give up. A lot of our friends also share that they keep applying for 2 years, and the difference between the people who achieve that because they keep applying, they don't give up, and that is not only in Chevening, in anything in life, I guess. So, what do you think? But that is the way like we doing. But what is a way to make us stand out when we do the application? It's like particular kind of like techniques or any advice. So let's say people are applying now, they kind of not giving up. So how can make them feel like they kind of have some advantages over other candidates? You have any advice?
I think one thing that really helps people to continue for pushing for a particular thing they are after is that they need to be confident in themselves first. Yep. If the person is very confident in himself or in herself, that person is going to continue to believe that even if you didn't win this time, even if you didn't get it this time, you'll get it next because you deserve it. You are the best. The person to develop the mentality, you are the best. Yeah. You don't go tell people, I'm the best and boast about it. But having that mentality inside you, is critical for any thing that you kind of want to go for, go after.
Yeah, so, you're not like going, as you said, like we're not arrogant, not going to say everyone I'm the best, but we're confident. So totally true, like we're confident about who we are in our best self, and that is the confidence and not like arrogant. Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, and I think it's a key. Yeah, it's the key. So that's kind of sensitive. But how many times did you apply? I don't know. It's just.
Hopefully I applied for just one time.
Okay, that's interesting because I think a lot of friends gonna think like maybe he applied for a lot of times, that's why he keep talking about that. But that's interesting because you apply for one time, but you achieve that, but that is the key. So I think it's important for anyone who just think about applying, just keep believing that you're gonna do whatever it takes to get it, and you're gonna get it maybe even the first time. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, and the issue is, of course, I was lucky that I was chosen for the first time unconditionally, but but I've seen other people who applied for several times and they were successful this time, and I've seen other people who were really quite who really quite deserved the award, but were not able to, they fell short. They fell short of satisfying the required criteria. But I think the issue is regardless of the
that's true.
It's worth keep trying.
Yeah, keep trying everything in life. I think New Year's coming, and I think it takes so many time of you because you have kind of like meetings soon. So really interesting about all the things that you share about the vision, the passion, and the leadership, and also about keep believing, being persistent, never give up, being confident. And what about New Year, right? If we have a 2017, what is your advice? I would ask about how can we plan our New Year? How you set a goal for this New Year, and how can you keep the daily habits? Yeah, can you share about that? Because I think it's crucial.
Yeah, I think that is in some of the having a plan, the kind of plan that people are going to have this year might be somehow subjective.
Right.
Different people do have different plans, and different people do have different kind of ambitions. But I hope in anything that you're going to plan for this year, I hope that someone tries to plan for something positive for yourself.
Okay, that's interesting. You plan positive. Yeah.
Something positive for yourself and something positive for the community and society.
All right. So it's something like can really contribute to not only your growing as a person but community. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
The other thing is that if you're going to have the goal, don't set for so many goals.
Okay.
Yeah. Just rank them. Which one do you find which one is your most important? Like if you plan like 5 things. Or
yeah. You ended up like not.
You might end up not achieving even all of them.
Right.
If you plan for fewer things, and you focus all your energy and all your commitment on that particular thing, you are likely to achieve them in a reasonable manner. The other thing is that if you're going to, the goals you're setting, they need to be something realistic.
Yeah.
Something realistic, something that realistic. Thirdly, one thing, anything you need to do, you might have set as a goal. Be ambitious. Yeah. If someone kind of have this year I have to buy 100 chicken. That's not an ambitious. That is not an ambitious goal. But if you say this year I want to do something like be that kind of for
it's like I want to lose weight. What does it mean? It seems to be not appealing at all, right? So we need to make
something
it
a little bit more ambitious, something more dramatic.
Right.
But don't set so many goals.
Yeah. I like the point you said because it's like you said we need to be balanced between the ambitious. It's like the realistic and the appealing and ambitious goals. So it need to make us feel challenging, but at the same time, it's kind of like make us feel challenging, not like so easy to achieve, but at the same time, it is also achievable somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Right. So how can we keep? I believe that when you have goals, you need to have daily habits to really work out and achieve the goals. So what do you think? What is your advice on the daily habits?
Daily habits is that sounds like how the person is going to behave how the person is going to kind of behave on daily basis. Do you mean that?
It's like the way you approach and manage your day, because I believe the way you manage your day or manage your calendar, and that's kind of important because if we have our goals there, we need to take action every day to achieve that. So how can we manage our day to achieve?
I think one advice that I really find particularly useful is that you need to have that every day you need to carry your notebook with you.
Oh, that's interesting.
You write everything you want to do in the morning, or you write it at night that you're going to do that tomorrow. If you have the opportunity to live up to tomorrow,
right?
You write down what you need to do on your notebook every day, so that every day when you open your eyes and wake up and go up to bed, you know what you need to do.
Yeah, that's true. It's like I had to write that I had to be with you today, but even though I still was late, but at least I saw in the list, so it's gonna need to happen no matter what, right? So it's very interesting that if you write in the evening, you wake up and you open your eyes, you know what to do. Wow, And what about the notebook? Do you use it for anything else?
Yes, that is very important for me. I write it things to do list. Like every day.
Right.
If I leave my notebook that particular day and I go to some place, I am most likely to forget some of the things I wanted to buy or to do.
Totally agree. Yeah.
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 So
it's like
it reminds you. It kind of sets goals.
Right.
Every day. This day you need to go. You need to visit that particular place. You need to call that particular person. You need to send that particular email. You need to buy that particular thing.
Right.
So you know what you need to do. So I think it's it saves time. It maximizes your efficiency and output dramatically.
Totally agree. Yeah. Wow.
So it's very important. I would advise everybody that and everybody to have such kind of such kind of notebook where you have your daily things you need, daily to-do list.
Right. As you said, I really like what you said, and I think our friends can just learn a lot from you. So basically, the notebook you said, somebody use it like on laptop or phone, and somebody like physically writing everything. Writing is kind of like really better. That's what I always think. And what we're gonna write, we write like a priority list. So we're gonna do and who we're gonna meet. I think it's a really important point because if we know like who we reach out to or who we're waiting on, we kind of like really proactive. We're not like in the passion mode, like waiting for everything and react. But we know what we need to do. So wow, wonderful. Do you have any other advice for the new year coming and to manage life in the UK when you come here to study? How you can manage your time? What would be your advice?
Yeah, I think my advice is be optimistic about the future, about the year. That the year holds a lot of good things for us. That being a Chevening scholar, focus on your education. And remain grateful for the opportunity.
All right.
And that's what I would really say.
Thank you. Yeah, I thank you for saying being grateful. So, and we need to appreciate what we have had, and we're gonna achieve more by working on it. Yeah. So I also feel we're grateful for our interview today. Thank you for sharing. So it's kind of like take more time than we thought.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jen.
Thank you so much for your sharing from your heart and really empowering. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll get back to you soon. Yeah.